My name is Richard Davidson. I want to chat about my heart attack and how to avoid joining my heart attack club. I invite you to go with me now to an old farmhouse on the Missouri River. It was a cold winter morning in March of 2009. I was renovating the farmhouse and worked upstairs in the bathroom. Suddenly, I felt a funny feeling run down my left arm. My fingertips were numb and I started sweating. I knew right away that these were signs of a heart attack. I went downstairs. I asked my wife for an aspirin. She said, "You don't take aspirin. What's wrong?" I said, "Oh, nothing. I'm just having a heart attack." We called the Army Base Hospital 18 miles away for an ambulance. And then we decided to meet them halfway at the south gate. My son was driving over the river and through the woods at a very rush speed to meet the ambulance. We met them about 10 miles from the hospital. The emergency room started prepping me and then took all my vitals, put me into the ambulance. One of the orderlies put a nitroglycerin tablet under my tongue. I said, "Nitroglycerin? That's what I used to use to blow things up with. Why are you putting that under my tongue?" He just laughed, but I didn't think it was very funny. At the hospital, my exam confirmed that I was having a massive heart attack. They medevaced me 150 miles away by helicopter to a heart hospital in Columbia, Missouri. I went directly into the emergency room where the heart doctor started my heart surgery. While I was lying on the table, I could see the monitor with all the staff working on me. And in a short time, they were about to place a stent in my artery. I could see the artery and I could see the stent where they placed the stent. Not only could I see it, I could feel it. So within 4 hours after I recognized my symptoms, the doctors had confirmed that I had a 100% clogged artery and a 95% clogged artery. The crazy thing was that 1 week prior to my heart attack, I had just completed an annual physical and got a clean bill of health. I tell you this because if I didn't know the heart attack symptoms, I wouldn't be able to recognize that I was having a heart attack. That was a life-changing wake-up call. And heart health was now my high priority. After my operation, they assigned me a recovery room. And I had a roommate that had also just had the stents placed in his arteries. As we were chatting, I asked him what he did for a living. He told me he was a cardiologist and worked at the very hospital we were in. His associate put stents in his artery. How ironic was that? Let me just introduce myself. I eat a cat every day for breakfast. I used to jump out of airplanes, land in the water, and then blow things up. I spent over 20 years in the United States Navy as an explosive ordnance disposal diver. I joined the Navy in 1959 and retired in 1982. My job was simple: find bombs, disarm bombs, stay alive. For decades, I worked with explosives, underwater demolition, and Vietnam combat operations. I had many situations where one mistake could cost me my life. On one operation, we were removing 2 bombs from the intake of the USS Dredge, New Jersey. While I was in the pipe removing the fuses, I had my body wrapped around the bomb and was twisting it back and forth to allow it to fall. If it had blown up, I would have shot out the intake tube and became fish food. The most dangerous thing I ever faced wasn't a bomb. It was the heart attack I had in 2009. That day changed my life forever. Today, at 85 years young, I have but one mission: help people avoid joining my heart attack club. No members are accepted, no members wanted. Today, I have 3 short lessons for you. The first lesson is that your body is a piece of equipment. The next lesson is prevention is easy, recovery is hard. And the third lesson is attitude is altitude. Let's do lesson number 1. Your body is the most important piece of equipment you will ever own. In the Navy, equipment failure could be fatal to your life and your mission. We prepared everything, we inspected everything, we maintained everything. Yet today in civilian life, most people pay more attention to their car than they do their body. I learned early in life that great health requires positive action. I grew up very active in Salt Lake City, Utah, swimming in pools and rivers, lots of river rafting, working at different types of jobs, building different projects, and my favorite, serving people. When I entered the Navy in 1959, becoming physically fit was a requirement and necessary for survival. If you fell overboard while at sea, you better know how to swim. Here's the lesson. You only have one body to carry you throughout your life. If you neglect it, it will eventually break down. The question is not aging happens. The question is, are you prepared to grow old? Lesson number 2. Prevention is easy. Recovery is hard. As a Navy EOD technician, we had a saying: the best explosion is the one that never happened. The same is true with heart attacks. The best heart attack is the one you never have. After I was introduced to the alkaline lifestyle in the 1970s, I began making positive long-term changes in my habits and my lifestyle. These changes saved my life when I had my heart attack. I have learned that prevention includes better breathing of air in and out through your nose, better hydration with drinking alkaline water, better choices of alkaline food, consistently moving your body, and practicing better mental health by finding your quiet place and visiting there often. When someone makes small and consistent daily health choices, they receive great and positive long-term results. I have been making these choices for over 50 years. The biggest challenge that most people have is they wait until they have a crisis before they take any action. I challenge all people I know to start now, before the crisis begins. Prevention costs far less than recovery. And final lesson number 3, attitude is altitude and may become your most powerful medicine. Throughout my Navy career, I learned something important. The people who survived difficult situations were not always the strongest. They were often the most determined. And truly, attitude matters. When I had my heart attack, I had a choice. I could become a victim or I could become a teacher. I chose to become a teacher. Today, I spend most of my time helping others to help themselves and understand that great health is not just physical. It is also mental, emotional, and spiritual. You need PMA. That's positive mental attitude. This creates positive actions, which create positive habits, and that creates positive lives. Let me leave you with one final thought. I spent my Navy career walking toward danger. Today, I spend my life helping other people walk away from danger. You do not have to wait for a heart attack. You do not have to wait for a diagnostic. You do not have to wait for a crisis. Start today. Take the first step, then another, then another. Because great health doesn't happen by accident. It happens through the 6 P's of life: proper, prior, prevention, prevents, poor performance. If you want to join my Alkalarian Club for free, you can scan my QR code or go directly to my website, which is www.myionhealth.com. I've always had my eye on my health, and now I have myionhealth.com. My name is Richard Davidson, and I have one final request. Do not join my heart attack club. Thank you.